here's a preview of a very exclusive appearance on the Veritas show by famous researcher and author, Zecharia Sitchin. Zecharia, we are captives of our current technology. What if you had been alive 100 or more years ago and were to attempt to translate the tablets and saw that what it's known today as an astronaut saluting a rocket? 100 years ago, there weren't any astronauts or rockets. What would you have said?
I would have said, I myself would have said, they're saluting a very large pencil.
Have your research changed with the advent of technology since you started? In other words, can you say now, well, really what I meant to say back in 1972 was, for example, the internet or something new? Has anything of that changed?
Frankly, when I started to write, it was, I would use the memory chips. That the best I could do. Now we probably would say microchips, because they get smaller and smaller, and they can store more and more information.
In general, we're so arrogant in the modern civilization to think that we know it all. We're trying to build a better mousetrap, so to speak. And when we look back at, again, going to Baalbek and see the structures and the way they were moved and the weight, something happened where that knowledge was there. Obviously, they were more advanced than we are today. What happened to that knowledge? Who took it? Who disappeared that knowledge?
Well, they left, whether happy or disgusted. You can have your choice of this text or that text. Some were happy with mankind, and some were very disgusted with the way we turned out. And they promised to come back, and that's where all the prophecies about the end of days and Armageddon come into play. So we'll see.
They left and they took the instruction manuals with them, didn't they?
In the end, we'll find out that the real storage place is DNA.
Well, speaking of electronics devices, if, God forbid, there's a nuclear exchange in today's world, we keep our knowledge and our data in paper, books, in computers, in silicon chips, etc. But back then, there may have been nuclear weapons detonated during that time, but because they were left on clay tablets, we're lucky to have that knowledge today. Do you think that may repeat itself?
Oh, that is a point that I used to make at the beginning of my talking about my books, when I said that the Sumerians wrote on clay tablets. People would, the first reaction would be, oh, they were that primitive. So I would bring with me,
right.
to the lecture a clay tablet, small enough to hold it in my hand, and hold it up in one hand, and in the other hand I would hold up one of my books, and I say to the people, which one of these do you think will last another 6,000 years?
Is it true that in that area of the world, and I hear this again and again, there are areas completely infertile, and you could even see glass sand on the floor? Can we estimate that a nuclear device was exploded there at one point?
Where there's no doubt a nuclear explosion had taken place.
In your research, have you found why or what happened? Why was it caused?
Yeah, it was a quarrel among themselves.
Zecharia, this is something that you don't hear that much, but many people don't know that NASA astronomers have found this 10th planet in our solar, or 12th planet in our solar system, and are so sure about it that the only thing left is to name it. Is this Nibiru, and why isn't this information more public?
Ask the government. I suppose the question is, what would be the consequences if it's admitted?